Imagine for a moment that you are walking alongside the Nile River, the lifeline of Egyptian civilization about 3,300 years ago. Among the reeds and papyrus, the massive stone creations emerge, the architectural exploits of Ramses II, a pharaoh whose ambitions were as titanic as the monuments he left behind. Today, let's unravel this monumental legacy of Ramses II, peeling back the layers of stone and time to discover the power, politics, and engineering behind ancient Egypt's towering achievements. Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, wasn't merely constructing buildings. He was building an empire made to outlast the sands of time. He came to the throne in a period fraught with challenges. Not long had his family ruled, and the young pharaoh knew well the power of imagery and architecture in consolidating his reign. His tenure marked one of the most prolific periods of building in ancient Egyptian history, undoubtedly a golden era of construction that exceeded even that of his predecessors. One of his earliest and most impressive projects, undertaken alongside his father Seti I, was the hypostyle hall at Karnak. Imagine standing beneath the shadow of its 134 colossal columns. Each one could dwarf a modern four-story building. This forest of stone was more than just a display of power. It was a maneuver in political legitimacy, magically turning stone into a narrative of divine right and kingly prowess. But how did a civilization without modern technologies achieve such architectural marvels? The ancients were not merely builders, but ingenious engineers. They transformed simple tools and materials into complex construction machines. The labor force, often perceived as vast armies of slaves, comprised skilled laborers who operated in organized teams. They hauled gigantic stone blocks from distant quarries, navigated them across the Nile during its predictable floods, a feat that challenges even today's logistics and transport technologies. Wooden sledges, greased with animal fat, slid massive stones across the land. Ramps, not unlike the ancient ziggurats of Mesopotamia, ascended to great heights, a stairway of mud bricks and limestone chips. These methods showcase a deep understanding of physics and resource management that could rival any modern construction project. Yet, Ramses II's ambitions weren't confined to merely building temples. He established entire cities, such as Pi-Ramesses in the Nile Delta, which served as the new capital. This city was not only a seat of power, but a bustling urban center that stimulated economic growth and asserted his influence over a vast empire. His constructions were as strategic as they were impressive. The grand temples at Abu Simbel, carved directly into mountainsides near the southern border of his realm, serve as a pertinent example. These were not just sanctuaries, but bold statements of sovereignty and divine mandate, strategically placed to awe both the Nubian neighbors and Egyptians alike with towering effigies of the pharaoh. The faces of these statues, intended to last an eternity, were aligned to catch the first rays of the rising sun, intertwining the pharaoh's identity with the celestial cycle. Political and religious symbolism adorned every wall, with elaborate hieroglyphs narrating the pharaoh's divine relationships and military victories. These narratives were as much for the gods as they were for the people, a reminder of the pharaoh's role as the terrestrial delegate of divine order. The scale and number of Ramses II's projects had a significant socioeconomic impact as well. They provided employment to thousands, from stone cutters at the quarries to priests in the temples, fostering a vast economy centered around construction. This economy was not just based on labor, but also on the intricate exchange of materials and goods necessary to support such extensive projects. In modern times, technology has peeled back more layers of the world Ramses II built. Ground-penetrating radar and computer simulations have offered us vivid pictures of how these monumental projects might have come together, affirming the ancient Egyptians' capabilities in organization, planning, and engineering. In conclusion, Ramses II's constructions were not mere acts of ego or displays of personal grandeur. They were carefully calculated components of statecraft, woven into the very fabric of ancient Egyptian society. political tools as much as they were religious expressions and economic engines. Each stone tells a story, not just of a pharaoh's power, but of a civilization's brilliance in turning landscapes into lasting legacies. As we stand today, gazing up at these ancient testaments to human ingenuity and will, we can't help but wonder, what incredible feats will our own civilizations be remembered for millennia from now? Let this pondering lead us into our next exploration, where history meets humanity at the crossroads of past and future.